Coming to you from the Deep South, this is the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast. High-impact leadership is not reserved for leaders, and it has nothing to do with your position, title, or rank. However, it does have everything to do with your character. It's time to climb to the next level and beyond, personally and professionally. Now, let's start making it happen with your host, Max Story.
Hey guys, today we're going to talk a little bit about followership. You know, everything I talk about is always leadership. But there's also something called followership. And today we're on part 19 of 30 from my Blue Collar Leadership Leading from the Front Lines series. And chapter 19 in that book is Followers Choose Leaders. And what I'm saying there, it's kind of common sense, right? It's obvious. Followers choose leaders. But I'm not talking about the boss. I'm talking about us choosing to follow someone because of who they are and why they do what they do. Nothing to do with the boss. So I'm saying someone's following someone else purely because they want to, not because they have to. So one thing I want to talk about is the fact that all great leaders were first great followers. And that's what this entire book, Blue Collar Leadership, is all about. It's about helping you understand how to become a high-impact follower. Yes, you're a leader leading other people. But when you become a high-impact follower of a leader, you gain tremendous influence with the leader. And if you remember, we've talked about it a lot. John Maxwell said it best. I heard it once, and I've been saying it ever since. It made sense to me. Leadership is influence. Nothing more, nothing less. So when you're a high-impact follower and you have a lot of influence with your leader, what that really means is you're leading the leader. Remember, leadership flows both ways. Everyone's always a follower and everyone is always a leader. Not necessarily at the exact same moment, but it could be from moment to moment. One moment I'm following you, another moment you're following me. Depends on what's going on. Whether it's a conversation or a mission. Truett Cathy, the founder of Chick-fil-A, he says this: to excel in leadership, you must first master followership. And I agree. And Truett, when he says leadership there, he means the same thing that John Maxwell means that I mean. When we say leadership is influence, we're talking about authentic influence, the kind you get because of your character, not your position, title, rank, and that sort of stuff. So considering the definition that leadership is influence, we're all leaders. But there are different levels of leaders, different styles of leaders, and different designations for different types of leaders. So remember, one of the many designations of a leader is a follower. That's pretty confusing, right? And how can that be that a follower is actually a type of leader? How can that be? So if you've never looked up on YouTube or TED Talk, look up a video if you want to see this in action and you want to see it in just 2 or 3 minutes to understand what I'm talking about, how the follower is actually the leader. And there's a video about how to create a movement. Type that in, how to create a movement. And you'll see I'm talking about the first follower. You may have seen the video before, but it's like a crazy guy dancing in a field. Looks like something from the old Woodstock days or something like that. A bunch of people gathered for a concert or something like that in a field. Everybody's sitting down, but this one wild dude is out there just dancing like crazy, all by himself. And then all of a sudden, some person joins him. That person is the first follower. And you'll see if you watch the video, the first follower is critical to the mission because the first follower now creates a group, and now there's other people joining the first follower. They're not really joining the leader, they're joining the first follower. So it gets complicated. But here's a simple illustration. And go check that video out if you haven't seen it. It's pretty interesting and a little bit humorous too. And I've shown it a lot in the past and still share about it and tell people about it today. But no matter who you are or what position of authority you do or do not hold, if I choose to follow you, I am a follower. At the same time, regardless of whether or not I have a formal position of authority or not, if someone chooses to follow me, I'm a leader, remember? And I'm talking about leadership's influence. All people are following and leading. And remember, leading again is influencing with authentic influence at the same time. We're always doing it back and forth. By definition, a follower is also a leader because they also influence others. It's just semantics, right? It's a play on words. But you need to understand it so you realize your goal is not just to be a high impact leader, it's also to be a high impact follower. Because everything rises and falls on influence. I've said it a lot. I'll say it again today. When you increase your influence, you increase your options. And I'm going to tell you this, your life's going to be better with more options. And if you're working for a bad boss right now and you don't want to be, but you kind of have to be, you understand what it feels like not to have options. It's better to have options before you need them than need options and not have them, right? So that's what all this book is about, helping you become a high impact follower, which actually causes you to become a high impact leader. So 5 ways high impact followers increase their influence. 1, high impact followers add value to the leader. They make the leader better by looking for ways to help the leader. They do this by doing more than is expected, doing things before they are expected, and doing things better than expected. They also provide valuable, unsolicited insight and feedback to the leader. And remember, as I'm talking about 5 ways high impact followers increase their influence, this is not about the old blue collar talk about brown nosing and sucking up and all that kind of goofiness. This is about how to increase your influence based on your character, how to be a high impact team player, which means you're also a high impact team follower. The second way is high impact followers value the leader. First way was add value to the leader. Now I'm saying they value the leader. They support the leader. They understand the leader is also their number one customer. We talked about that before in previous episodes. And they respect their leader and demonstrate it through their dedication and quality of work. The third way high impact followers increase their influence is that they add value to the team. So first we valued the leader, first we added value to the leader. Second, we valued the leader. And this third thing is now we add value to our team. So we make the team better by looking for ways to help them excel. It ain't about us, but it starts with us, right? We look for ways to help those needing to be helped. And we give credit to the team instead of accepting it for ourselves, even if we did most of the work or if we come up with the idea. So we develop and nurture sustainable relationships throughout our team. The fourth thing is high impact followers also value the team. They appreciate the differences of each team member. They see value in the diversity. Where this diversity and where you come from, where the team members come from. You know, people think diversity, they think people of a different race or things like that, or from a different country. But diversity is far beyond that. Diversity is just in the way we think. You can have 5 people on a team, and if they think differently, I can't promise you got a very diverse team. It could be relative to beliefs that people hold. But high impact followers value the team. They appreciate the differences. They express gratitude freely and openly to their team members, and they offer support and share ideas abundantly. They don't focus on me, but instead focus on we. The fifth thing high impact followers do to increase their influence They invest in personal growth, just like this podcast you're listening to now, or the book that the podcast is talking about, this 30-part series, or any other books that I've written or anybody else in the world has written that focus on personal growth and leadership development. And this is a trait reserved for the most developed high-impact followers. They're well on their way to becoming high-impact leaders because of how well they follow, which is based on how well they develop themselves. They don't wait for anyone to develop them. They develop themselves on purpose for a purpose. And as they do, they begin to attract high-impact followers. And don't miss that. When I'm attracting high-impact followers, that means I have become a high-impact leader. So think about this. Last thought. A low-impact follower does less than expected alone. A high-impact follower does more than expected with others. Huge gap in performance right there. Completely different circumstances and completely different results based on whether you're a low-impact follower or a high-impact follower. Don't be afraid to be a follower. We're all followers. As soon as the greatest leader you can imagine listens to someone else, they were just a follower. They accepted influence from someone else. So think about that. Talk to you next time. Have a great day.
Make it happen or someone else will. It might as well be you. Are you serious about taking your career and your life to the next level and beyond? Check out Mac Story's Blue Collar Leadership series books and others, now available on audio, along with paperback and ebooks at Amazon, iTunes, and Audible. Please visit bluecollarleadership.com to learn about Mac's books, programs, special offers, certifications, and more. Thank you for listening to the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast.